Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to game number 2 between DmWpAnime versus CaringForTheWashed. And obviously, as we just saw, Anime were actually able to take that game number 1 despite how absolutely dominant the Washed were in the laning phase and beyond. Like, it was absolutely mental lead they did have, but they persevered, they just carried on rolling through, and they ended up managing to take it. So let's see if they have actually adjusted maybe for this second game. They've decided to remove the Snapfire this time round, so definitely not going to land into their team yet again. Meanwhile, Anime do actually decide to take out the Tinker as well as the TA, and actually lead up with the Tiny themselves. Let's see what Anime are going to respond with here in these first 2 opening picks. They've got Tiny on Pos 3. Have they run Pos 3 Tiny before? That sounds weird. That sounds very weird. I think you pretty much only ever see a Tiny as either a carry or rarely a position 4. But I think like 80%, probably even 90% of games, it's a position 1 Tiny. You never really end up in any other sort of awkward role. But Clockwork is actually the first pickup here from Anime. So I assume that's going to be their position 4. It can be the 5 if they really want to, but it does generally work out a little bit better in that slightly greedier role. We might just grab like a key offlane pairing with it. I mean, a strong offlane pairing with it is always a Mars, because the spear can actually connect onto the cogs. Pretty much guarantees a fantastic lockdown from whoever gets caught. So I wouldn't be too surprised if they decided to go for that. They actually decided to go for an OD instead. I think you still mainly see this as a mid laner, but it can also be played in the off lane. It works both ways. And again, it does actually work quite well with the Clockwork. If the OD leads up with the Astral Imprisonment, it allows the clock to get close enough for like a cog setup or even a cog's pushback, completely dependent on the situation that they are currently in. But yeah, I think this is a pretty good offlane so far, especially when they're going to be up versus a Tiny as well. So let's see what the Washed are going to grab. I assume it'll be their position 5 right now, just to sort of guarantee a decent lane to go with it. And it's actually going to be Undying. So the Undying is obviously pretty decent versus the Clock. Just the Decay, always very, very potent versus Strength heroes, because not only do you reduce HP, but you also reduce damage at the same time. So it's a 2 birds with 1 stone. But he's not really that great versus an OD though. So, you know, you solve one problem, but the others not really address that much at all. But we'll see how that lane ends up panning out. If this is actually going to be the safe lane off lane pairing that we are going to end up rolling with, who knows? But the Wash actually decides to take out the Necro and the Sniper again. So as they don't want to play it themselves this time round, they're just going to make sure that Anime do not end up getting it. Despite how well the Necro actually ended up playing in the laning phase, so I guess they just thought, they didn't want to go for it again. Too risky. Also removing the Lone Druid. So yeah, Mash definitely going to have to play a different hero for this game number 2. Meanwhile, Anime removed the Phoenix as well as the Hoodwink. So NFD going to have to end up play a different position for this game as well. This is refresh these. Just so I get all the update information on what the most picked heroes are. Actually giving this final ban here a lot of consideration. I mean, it looks like they've just sort of gone towards like off-lane position 4 bans. And yeah, okay, they also go for the Sand King. So not really much attention being paid towards the mid laner now, just sort of dealing with that in the first phase. So I imagine that's probably what the Wash are going to pick up as their mid laner in this second phase when it's coming. Actually, no, they'll probably grab their support and off laner, right? And then leave the mid for the final pick, I would imagine. It might not matter actually. Yeah, I don't know.
A player has
But still,
from the fight.
First pick come out here from Anime in the second phase yet. Regurgitard's actually the one DC'd. Not MASH, so don't worry. It's going to tune up all their reserve time. That'd be very awkward. But Wyvern is actually the go-for there from Anime. So, I mean, it's a pretty decent counter-initiate in position 5 with the Winter's Curse, or even just an actual initiation tool itself, completely dependent on the positioning. But, as we all know, a Winter Wyvern is pretty damn shocking in the laning phase. Like, doesn't bring much to the table whatsoever. So whatever off lane that the Wash do actually end up going for, they could maybe try and go for quite an aggressive one and capitalize on like some early kills, as the Wyvern's not really be able to do too much to stop it. I mean, for extra effect as well, Timbersaw is always a strong hero because obviously it cuts straight through the Cold Embrace, doing pure magical damage. I mean, maybe that could actually be... Yeah, I mean, if they do go for that, then it gives Anime the option to swap their lanes around, because OD has always been traditionally pretty good versus the Timber himself. So maybe just the fear of that might stop them from going for that sort of route. We'll have to wait and see. Tidehunter is actually the hero choice there from the Washed. So not going to be an aggressive lane to try and, like, you know, deal with this relatively weak laner of a hero. Just going to play it quite placid. So we'll see what they're going to grab up as their next hero here. Generally, when you grab a Tide, right, you grab a position 4 that likes to just leave him in the lane on his own. You go off, you try and gank the mid lane, make space elsewhere on the map. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, I don't know if this... Is that pre-roll just gone? Pre-roll ads are on. Run an ad break to disable them. I thought I just did run an ad break. I don't know. If you guys just had an advert, let me know, because I don't even know, man. I'm still confused about how pre-rolls work. They're really goddamn well confusing. But Mirana was actually the 4th hero pickup. So yeah, like I just said, they got that hero that likes to rotate, try and set up for ganks in the mid lane. Substick everything, but everyone else does. Just because you're immune, Rinku. Just because you're immune. Anyone who's not a sub, let me know if you just got an advert or not. Because pre-rolls are supposedly the bane of many streamers. So yeah, normally when you see a Mirana, OD is just a fantastic hero to go with it, because it's Astral into Arrow. Always a very potent setup. But they're not going to have the option. We'll see what the Wash do decide to go for their mid laner. But Anime are actually going to grab the Ursa themselves this time round. So we'll see how that ends up panning out for them. But yeah, the Wash just after their mid lane hero now. And Anime, it's either their mid or off lane. Completely dependent on where they actually want to put this OD. So they might just try and split the bands a little bit, focus towards the off lane as well as the mid. You meant to run an ad every hour as pre-rolls happen. I'm not going to watch anything because it's too much focus on otherwise. Well, I did an advert in the break between games though, so surely that should have stopped the pre-roll, right? Or did that ad not actually play? I told it to run an ad. I don't know, man. I'm still new to this. I'm gonna have to like watch the VOD back. When do I stream? I tried to do it as much as possible, really, when like playing games and stuff. Not been able to do too much this weekend because obviously it's Mother's Day and stuff. Oh, you meant Rinku? Oh, the insult! The insult! The pain, Rumblex, man. You wound me. I joke, of course. But yeah, these last set of bans. PA gets taken up there from Anime. Shen as well from the Washed. Damn that facepalm. Oh, the VOD doesn't show the ads? Oh, okay. You learn something new every day. Yeah, Puck's actually the one to ban out. So yeah, they do focus a bit towards the other lanes, but quite curious about this Shen ban. Can Shen be played as a core now? Is he not just still a solid support? It's a very interesting ban otherwise, because it's quite clear that those would be their two supports. Actually, no. This could be a Wyvern mid. A bit of 9 coming out there, perhaps.
10 seconds.
Very, very perhaps.
5 seconds.
Gotta get that facepalm emoji, boys. The must-have of the season, you know? Okay, but Ember is actually the pick up there from the Wash. So, yeah, again, it's a good setup for the Mirana, as long as if this Ember does actually end up leveling the shackles in the laning phase to set up for that arrow gank. Yeah, so it's going to be maybe a little bit of a dangerous lane for Anime, whoever they do chuck into that mid. I mean, OD is actually a pretty good hero in that regard then, because the shackle is not a stun. It still allows you to use the Astral Imprisonment, in which way you'll be able to avoid that arrow every single time. So yeah, I think they might just put this OD mid now and grab a different offlaner. Okay, they go for the Razor.
Make the ultimate choice.
Okay, Mash is actually playing... Okay, so it's Razor mids. So he's not going to be able to dodge the shackle arrow play. It's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, so the OD Clockwork off lane, which should be sort of okay. Like, the Clock might have a rough time versus the Undi, but I think Regurgitard is going to be quite happy in that lane setup. Shouldn't really be pressured too much. And then Panda, obviously on the Ursa, a fantastic hero to play up versus a Tide in the lane. Kraken Shell does nothing, especially where the Mirana is going to be rotating the vast majority of the time. So not really going to be there to lend a helping hand to the Tide. Just sort of going to be left to his own devices. So I think the off lane here might be a little bit awkward. Limbu not going to have as nice of a time as he did in game number 1. But we'll see if these rotations from NFD are actually going to be, you know, worthwhile and pan out. Alrighty, but here we are. We are in for game number 2 between DmWp versus Anime versus The Washed. Cannot remember the full name now. The name escapes me. It's very bad. That's why I just call him The Washed the old time. It's much easier. Washed and Anime. Nice and simple. But yeah, it doesn't look like the Washed are going to try and go for any sort of first blood play. Everyone's splitting around, just going to get their wards down. Meanwhile, Anime, there's a little group of them actually forming in this mid-tier 1. I don't know if it's just to scout the rune or not, the ward. And yeah, Batsfimi. Okay, I thought he might have actually tried to go for like the little touch onto the area then to see if there was a ward, but he didn't actually decide to commit for it. Should be a pretty chill start. Actually, WP and Grim end up running into each other. With the battery assault, WP is going to be able to push away. But he actually went for a right click, so half the battery assault's not actually able to do too much. Actually, oh, Grim. He took a while cutting the tree. He's actually going to stand his ground. The right clicks from the tree grab definitely being a bit more damaging. So it's not really going to be a trade of resources. I think both of them use a tango, but WP having a hell of a lot more resources there. Meanwhile, at this top rune, Batsfimi is going to get wrapped on here. Everyone's surrounding him. The arrow even expecting him to try and go up to the high ground. Panda, though, just purely focusing onto High Sakura. But he really needs to get out of here. He's going to try and retreat. They're going to keep chasing him. Another decay hit. Another gush. But NFD not quite having the arrow back up 4 seconds. And Panda will be able to retreat. But he's so low. Okay, he will actually TP towards his tier 1. And Batsfimi TPing to outposts as he realizes that no one was there to take that bounty. So he still actually ends up getting it. 3-for-1 in the advantage there for Anime. But regardless, they did end up giving First Blood over to High Securus of all people. So I think that's just a bottle. Yeah, he's already got his bottle delivered. So a nice little advantage here for the Ember in this mid lane. Oh, look away. Panda actually sends up dying at the top. Where he TP'd up here, Batsfimi couldn't get there in time to give him that salve. He was so low. And now, his TP's on cooldown. He has to walk all the way back to this lane just with the Windlace to actually speed this up. This is a horrendous start here for Panda. Batsfimi's probably secretly happy. A position 5 getting solo farming experience. Boy, oh boy, what a dream. But regardless, it's not a good way to start the game. Looking pretty rough. Anyway, down at the bot, Grim, he seems fine for now, but I think once a few levels start getting piled up onto this OD, it's going to be a progressively dangerous lane for him. We're on this Mash, getting a full-length static link, but regardless, High Secure is still able to secure these last hits. Ooh, nearly got that last one as well there. But I mean, it doesn't matter too much about full-length static level sort of 1 or 2. It doesn't do too much to him. High Securus going to try and just stack up these creeps, as obviously the wave was under the tower. Going to get that up. Oh, look away, down bottom. WP actually ends up dying there. Chupacabra getting the kill there with the help of the Grim. How? That's really interesting. I'm not quite sure. I wouldn't have thought that this would have been the lane to get like a kill onto the support. But actually, I suppose with quite a few hits from the decay, he was probably quite squishy from it. Yeah, like he's got plus 16 strength, so he was hit multiple times. Actually going to go for a soft pull as well, so it's not going to hold back the creep wave, but pulls it back for a short duration. Ascuras now with a level 2 link, effectively has negative damage, so not doing anything at all. Still going to try and pressure Mash here, but it's really the creeps that threaten him. They just end up saying hello to each other. But regardless, it is a CS advantage already being built up here from Mash. Oh, he actually ends up missing those two, unfortunately, but 5 ahead and 5 denies as well. And once again, High Secure is just going to keep on stacking up this camp for himself when he eventually has a few more points into Sleight of Fist, and he can farm it up effectively. You know what, NFD and Batsfimi sort of having a little tussle, but the arrow misses. No solo kill this time. Grim actually at the top of CS now. Very nice position for this Tiny. Gogtard about to hit his level 3 though. I think you still go for 2 points in Arcane Orb, do you? Or do you go for just 1 into the Prison? No, it does go for the 2 points into the Arcane Orb, so this right click is going to be much more potent and deadly at pushing away the Tiny. But meanwhile, at the top lane, Panda does get a kill there onto NFD as Batsfimi was body blocking him in. Very, very nice. Oh, actually in the mid lane, High Securus ends up dying. WP just going for a wrap round there, ganks on in. Actually sets off for the kill. Really fantastic. He actually does get it rather than Mash. But regardless, it's a kill onto the enemy mid. It delays this game even more. And as it was a 4-minute mark as well, Mash is going to be able to get both of the water runes. So pretty much going to be full HP, full mana by the time Mash returns to the lane. He's about full level ahead as well. A very nice position to be in. Chupacabra is there, but oh, Mash even gets to deny onto the Observer Ward. Can't do anything at all. Down at the bot though, Grim is left alone. And looks like Regogtard and WP are actually going to try and capitalize on this. He has Cogs available, but he's going for the combo onto him instead, trying to actually go for a trade kill here. The clockwork's getting very, very low. Regogtard's trying to do as much damage as he can, but it's not enough. He just gets a kill! Completely for free, all solo. 1v2, who cares? Man's just got too much HP. All the Wraith Band stack ups just paying off fantastically there. And that's, yeah, it's pretty good. Especially so he's also like doing well on CS, just getting a free solo kill on top of that. Very, very nice. Halfway towards his level 6, only 5 minutes in. Actually ahead of his mid laner right now by full level. High Securus just getting run at yet again there from Mash. Forced to retreat. Minus 58 damage again. Yeah, he's just not having a fun time here, Hysakuras. He might require a gank from NFD soon, if they can actually do it. But they might not even have damage. Actually, he's not even bothered to level up Searing Chains, so not actually any sort of way to set up for that gank. Well, actually, wow, look away up top. Limbu actually managed to get a kill there onto Bat's Femi. It's not a bad kill to get. Bit of extra gold and space. Can't go wrong. Chupacabra, perfect time in the decay to steal that little CS. Every little helps, especially for a support. Can't go wrong with 20 gold. This mid is just so rough. It's still 17 CS here for Hysakuras to 37 and 12 on Mash. Absolutely disgusting lead. 800 gold advantage with 2 full levels, I think. Yeah, well, about a level and a half or so. Still very potent lead. Fortunately enough, though, from the Washed is that Eraser's not really the best ganking here in the world. I mean, he can do it, but you know, it doesn't have like a decent stun setup or anything like that to make a quick rotation. But he might end up going for it soon, either way. Just has the casual regen rune as well to fill back up, which is very, very nice. Easy toss away. Hype up a player. Let's hype up Rinku. He's going for the stacks. He's got the help of all the zombies as well, but he's getting really low. He's got to be careful, but all the zombies are making the space he might not be able to do. He's getting very low. He's got to be careful. He doesn't get body blocked in by his support. He's got to play it carefully. Juking in around the camp. He's getting hit. One more. One more. There's a little pig pole sat on the floor. Those stats could help him take this a bit faster, but I think all the goddamn zombies are going to end up stealing all the money away from him. As they are. They get 1. They get 2. They get 3. All the big creeps just get taken and he still dies! Oh no! It's a disaster! It's an absolute disaster for Hysakuras. Oh, the Wind Ripper just sat there on 15 HP, gets a solo kill, and pretty much all the money was found by Chupacabra as well. Absolutely incredible. And that was a perfectly timed hype. Well done, Jammy. Oh, down bottom though. There's going to be an Astral setup onto Grim. It's a rotation made here from Mash, level 7. There's a TP coming in from NFD to try and help out his carry if he can. He's a tanky man, so take the while for him to die. He does at least get the kill onto the clock. He's making his way into the trees. One more plasma field. It connects. It just about enough damage to finish him. Mash also getting the grab onto NFD there. Incredible stuff. Gets a cheeky double. Unfortunately, he does still die as the TP came in there from Limbu, but I mean, that's close. You know, the Tiny was doing work. This is the power of a Tiny man this early on. Like 1600 HP. Obviously, it'd be even more if these were strength bands rather than wraith bands. Strength bands? Braces, sorry. That's clip him. It should be. My throat's a bit raw from that. Oh. But now, Hysakuras, he didn't even go in to finish off the Ripper that, you know, claimed his life. Just hung his head low, went back to the mid to try and get what farm he can. He's still just trying to build phase boots. And 9 minutes in, he's bottom farm of all of the cores, 500 behind that of his own offlaner. And yeah, 1,000 gold behind the enemy mid. Not ideal. Not ideal at all. I am quite, you know, curious about why they didn't go for like the shear and chains to maybe try and actually, you know, use the Mirana in the offlane. But actually, speaking about the offlane, Mash was trying to pressure Grim. Even with the help of Panda, they didn't quite feel comfortable enough about trying to get underneath the tier 1. Just chucking spells from afar. Yeah, don't quite want to fully commit onto it, as he is a tanky boy. Hysakuras though, trying to do what he can this mid. Even WP is actually putting up enough of a fight where Hysakuras can't just go for like a solo kill. And that feels kind of rough. Where you're a middle lane, you can't just push out the enemy support. Very unfortunate. So Grim looks like he's just going for the standard tiny build Echo Saber into the Shadow Blade. Pretty much copy and paste from every single tiny since the history of position 1 Dota of tinies. And Panda, yeah, pretty much doing exactly the same as well. Diffusal Blade into the BKB. Not going to go for the Shadow Blades like Grim did in the previous game. Actually, speaking of that, they've gone for a 3-man smoke move here. They're going to run immediately into the poor old Batsfimi Wyvern, and he does die. Panda, he's still hanging around here, trying to be as green and get as much CS as possible. We'll now start retreating, but he has the rage to disengage if needs be, but he's still very, very slow, trying to get away from the tower. High security even getting involved, and they will find the kill. It was, yeah, that was very, very greedy from Panda to hang around. Very greedy indeed. Ends up, you know, being a freebie there for the Washed. And gonna maybe pressure this tier 1 tower. 3 heroes around. The Undying actually TP'd to the mid just to help defend this tier 1 from the catapult wave. Meanwhile, they're down the bottom. Mash as well as Rogotard's going to take down this tier 1. Ooh. It looks like Rogotard actually going for a Hand of Midas first. It has... I don't really see people building Meteor Hammer anymore. Is that item just like been severely nerfed? I don't really remember seeing anything about it in the patch notes. But yeah, I just don't really see that item anymore. Or was it just straight up removed from the game? No, it's still in there. Okay, he's just decided not to go for that classic OD offlane item. It's interesting though. Batsfimi just hiding behind the tier 1 as the members of Washed close around it, as it is going to be their next target. Tombstone just gets dropped from Chupacabra. No zombies actually connect, so Batsfimi is just going to be able to fly on out of there completely scot-free. Actually, the even thing about turning this around is the TP coming in from Mash. They do actually have a Winter's Curse to use, but he can't quite get in the right spot to use it just yet. Arrow connects onto him straight away. Limbu's in there with the Ravage. He drops it, but where's the follow-up? There's nobody there to do any damage. He has to just blink dagger away, and now Grim's getting ran at. He's just going to toss DmWp back to avoid getting caught out. There's just one zombie on him, but even still, nobody quite wants to overcommit. Now Batsfimi charging forwards. We're going to get the Winter's Curse immediately there onto the type. He's a tanky man, so these right clicks from Grim are not going to do too much, especially without a tree. But still, Limbu's getting caught inside the cogs. He's going to drop it down to the magic damage, but still, they do get a return kill onto Mash. The hammer does get dropped, but Grim still survives it for a few more right clicks. Finishes off their Tiny's life. Chupacabra's trying to stand his ground with these right clicks. Is the K going to come up cooldown long enough? No, it's not. He ends up dying. NFT hiding in the trees. He doesn't actually have a leak, so he's going to be dying for sure here. Ends up being a 4-for-1 trade there in the favor of Anime. All they lose is their mid laner. They don't even lose their tier 1. And that was Ravage that got committed as well. So very, very nice fight there from Anime. Perfectly played. And now it's a 2k gold advantage for them. All 3 cores at the top of the net worth for now. So definite lead being started to build up. Not quite as potent as what the Wash was able to do in game number 1. But still, if they can keep this momentum going, it can start looking pretty damn dangerous. I think the damage was reduced. Oh, okay. The AoE was increased. I don't think the damage was really a massive factor about why the OD picked up the hammer, though. That's really weird. Who knows? I mean, I suppose, in a way, the Hand of Midas, you know, saved his life up there. The extra attack speed for those right clicks. Killing the Undying before he killed him. So that's something. Definitely panned out there. Looks like a long last Limbu. Gonna be able to take down this tier 1. Just one final usage of the glyph, but no one's gonna bother coming up here to defend this, surely. The Mash is here, but
Never refuse gold, give it.
I don't think so. High Sakura still trying to build into that Maelstrom. 1,000 gold away. Not going to be the ideal timing, but when he gets that, it will at least ramp up his farmer speed a little bit to recover. And they're actually going for a Moonlight, Shadow, and Smoke move here. It looks like they're going to be focusing onto Batsfimi, their target of choice. Meanwhile, High Sakura, he sees DmWp in the back lines. Actually gets the Witness Curse before he dies. But it's just onto the ties. They can't get too much out of that. The MWB gets spotted out by the Undo, who actually pops the Flesh Golem. But they can't actually lock down the clock, so he easily just walks away. No Flesh Golem gone for 2 minutes. But then at the same time, we've also used Winter's Curse. So I don't think it's really much that Anime can capitalize on. They're still just very aggressively positioned in the dire jungle. No one's going to end up walking into them to give away a free kill. Just straight up dropping the tombstone on top of this tower. Oh, jump forward there. Ravage does connect onto Mash. All the remnants, all the arrows. He is a goner. Can they actually find anyone else here? Regardless, dropping the casual imprisonment onto Limbo just to hold him back. Throwing all their spells from afar, but no one really wants to fully commit just yet. They're poking a prod onto Limbo. All that magic damage just shredding straight through. Talk about shredding Panda. He annihilates Chupacabra. One more hit's all you're going to need. Limbo will fall as well. DmWp, he also found a Grammatized Sakuras. He gets caught as he used all of his remnants to try and blow up Mash. And again, it's a 3-for-1 trade in the favor of Anime. I think they also got the kill onto the tombstone as well. So another massive gold swing. Well, I say massive, you know, it's just over 1,000 gold. That doesn't factor in the tombstone kill as well. So it's a pretty big chunk. Fatsfimi even just trading with NFD. Meanwhile, Regurgitard and Panda going to take down this first Roche of the game. So now they could probably just go yet again. Why the hell not? Regurgitard actually got his Axe queued up next. Oh, maybe getting around out here. These right clicks from here hurting a hell of a lot. The one final toss of the tree. Enough damage to get the kill. You still gotta be careful, man. That tiny hurts real hard. But with tree, what's his actual damage go up to? It's only 280, but it hurts a lot. Especially like, you know, the splash damage added in. Ooh. Hook shot, lands in the backgrounds there, onto the Tide Hunter, still in a Ravage for 45, so we can't just pop that to disengage. They're going to counter charge at him, but the Tombstone was there to make space, but regardless, it's a free 200 gold there for the Razor. The Winter's Curse did get used just to hold High Securus back, but no actual grab onto anyone else. The DmWp is probably going to die here, so a couple of right clicks from Grim will finish. Actually, NFD getting the final touch. Now Panda, he wants to get involved. He has the Aegis, so he's not too scared about just constantly running relentlessly at Grim. All the Fury Swipe hitting, doing so much damage. He's getting really low. He's not going to be able to survive this barrage, and he is gone. They will at least get the first life onto the Ursa, but do they have any other follow-up? They don't. No Mana of High Securus. The arrow is on cooldown. Still no Ravage. Unfortunately for them, they have to just let it be. But it's a pretty good fight there for Anime. I mean, they lose the Aegis and the support, but at least they do take down the most farmed hero of the game, which is Grim.
Put that money to good use.
I mean, how much gold is he actually worth? Like 550 in total. So that's a pretty decent chunk of money. I'm just going to be careful. 3 heroes on top of him. He's getting really low. There is a Ravage. But Limbo not actually deciding to pop it. So Panda just walks away.
You are so small, the world will hardly notice.
It's sometimes you're in that sort of situation where it feels kind of rough to pop your Ravage for a single person, but I think in that sort of scenario, it would have been worthwhile just to guarantee the kill onto the enemy position 1. Now looks, everyone else is coming. Oh, what's that pause? What's that pause? Oh, poor old Batsfimi. He's not happy. He is not happy. Completely under vision. Everyone can see this little flying wyvern, which is probably going to die, I imagine. I mean, what did they actually see? They actually saw everyone as well. So yeah, Batsfimi knows that he is probably dead, unless somehow Regurgitard and Mash can save him. I mean, if he gets close enough, you can astral him up, but still, it's a wyvern, so he's very squishy, and he's probably going to drop. Oh, GG, game over, boys. Okay, well, he ravages that! Okay, they just annihilate the wyvern straight off the bat. They do find the grab as well, though, onto Regurgitard. Actually, a buyback here for the wyvern. He comes in with the Winter's Curse, guarantees the kill on Chupacabra, as well as Panda picking off NFD in the background. WP also get the hook shot onto Grim, keep him locked inside these cogs. Is it actually a full damage with Mash, 174 damage, and DD absolutely annihilates the Tiny. It costs him a buyback, but it doesn't really matter. It's a favorable trade. Just the fights keep on going towards Anime's favor here. And they're probably going to be able to take down this tier 1 tower in the mid lane. Glyph holding it back for now, but no one's going to be able to defend this. Now, Defusal and Basher completed for Panda. Still got a ton of items queued up here. BKB, 2 blinks, because, you know, 1 blink isn't enough. And the Abyssal Blade. Who knows what he's actually going to decide to prioritize. Meanwhile, how is the farm of Grim actually looking? He's got his Echo Saber, still trying to actually build into this Shadow Blade. But he's still about 1,000 gold away. And then maybe he could start, you know, looking for pickoffs, linking up with the rest of his team. They get the spot there onto Grim. Actually going to commit the hookshot forwards there from DmWp, locking him in, but he just tossed him straight out of there. Meanwhile, Panda, though, just trying to focus out the Supercharge, shredding him, but actually it's going to be the Scepter trying to make the space. The arrow lands onto DmWp instead. Meanwhile, Smash is still just charging at Grim. Do they have any detection? Is there anything at all? Clearly they do. He's not dusted, is he? One more Sentry Ward. He's actually caught it. Grim, he needs to step out of there, but he's run out. He just hands off keyboard by the looks. He will still die. Meanwhile, that was going on. Panda was left in a 1v4 situation, and he will die himself. So, yeah, it's a pretty good trade there for the Wash. They lose their tiny, sure, but they take down the support and the carry at the same time. Chupacabra, he's going to get caught here for Gurgotard. Drop it on top of his face. A couple of right clicks will be more than enough. Actually, another use there from NFT, saving his fellow support. Actually, Nimbu just charging straight onto Batsu. Arrow, it lands. Again, there's no follow-up. Even Batsumi just straight up TP's out. Gurgotard trying to do the same. Right clicks. Okay, there's a Ravage. They're like, nah, you're dying, mate. You're dying. Do you think you're going to live? Nah. Okay, so just a very back and forth game. One team takes a good fight and the other brings it back. As you can see just from the chart, just zigzagging all over the place. Actually, I hear a angry Ursa Bear. Was just running at NFD there, but no support around to try and actually net that kill.
You have my thanks.
Why do teams have to throw in these games? Because they know that they have to make it interesting. There's an unspoken rule where you can't just have an easy wipe. I'm sure they like to have an easy wipe, but no. As close as it is as possible. That's what we like to see. It looks like the Wash, though, once again, they've managed to get the Philly Stone. I mean, it didn't win them game number 1. Let's see if it manages to do it for game number 2, though. Ags nearly completed here for Limbu. 400 gold. And then we'll have this big old AoE gush. Which works really, really well, actually, with the Ember Spirit Sleight of Fist. Like, you reduce everybody's armor, which just makes those hits even more deadly. Deadly? Deadly. So just BKB bots online for Mash. Got a casual 1800 gold sat in his pockets. Not sure what he's got a queued up yet. But actually, they found an entry here onto DmWp, but couldn't actually find the kill. Instead, they're just going to farm up this free tombstone. 200 gold there for Panda. Actually, Limbo, he did retreat fully. Now he's just going to get caught. Still no ravage for 40 seconds, but the Kraken Shell going to purge away the stun. He's still trying to retreat, but those right clicks hurting way too much. Mash and Panda finding the kill. And all 5 members of Anime are here. They're going to try and press for more, especially with Eye of the Storm still got half its duration. But nobody's actually going to be in the triangle to grab. So they are safe. Still another 50 seconds before Roche is potentially up. Both teams just huddling on either side of this mid lane right now. Although when Limbu actually respawns, you will have Ravage. So maybe Wash, sorry, could look for a fight, as no Eye of the Storm's going to be available, which is something, as well as BKB. Actually, no, it's up in like 20 seconds. So by the time he respawns, they get organized. It's not going to happen. Oh, actually, Grim, he just finds a free solo kill there onto Chupacabra, but DmWp says you do not want to, you're not escaping free of charge here. Mercedes just stands his ground with those right clicks and just ends up giving away another kill. It's a free double there for Grim. Oh, maybe he found a gravel to go. It's hard. The nice shackles, denying any sort of retreat. Grim's going to drop the combo once more, right clicking away. It's another kill. NFT actually getting it. High Sakura is able to get the jump away as well before he can get focused down. Oh, what an arrow. Can they turn? They can turn, right? I guess they didn't quite want to commit. Maybe they thought the Ursa was nearby. But they had Ravage and everything available. They might have been able to just net that kill. Actually, you know. I don't know. You'd already used BKB. I don't know. It might be worth it. But it's hard to tell in those sort of calls in the middle of the game. But Roshan up in 2 minutes 15 seconds. Everyone's going to be up on ready to roll when that is a go. Both teams know that the respawn is probably relatively soon. So the aim of the game now is who can control the best amount of vision in this vicinity. Because the Wash can't really afford to let Anime have another Aegis. If they can somehow get that into the hands of their Tiny, it's going to be very, very strong. Ags first, OD sucks. Is that the one where it just imprisons everybody? Advanced charges, Astral, increases damage and applies damage in area? Oh. It's a pretty weak one. Gone are the days where you use ultimate and that would Astral everybody. I kind of like that one. It was an awkward one to use in a lot of fights, but visually it was pretty nice. He's actually going for a Ether Lens next just to get some extra range on those imprisonments. Chris though with his own BKB available. So now he can avoid some of the control coming out from Team Anime. The old OD Ags on Rubik. Well, I was just like the damage amp just blows everyone up, I guess. But the Grim and Mash sort of having a little tussle. You know, 115 damage gets drained, but BKB has been used. So this is like a full minute that the Wash can try and capitalize on. And actually, Roshan's up in 35. They're not going to just wait for that, though. They're going to go for this potential smoke play. They see Rogotard there in the mid, but he's not quite showing himself, so they can't get a jump. Now the smoke's going to break. Blasphemy, he's right on top of everybody, but instead, actually, Panda tried to focus onto the Grim. There's going to be the hook shot there from DmWp, holding him in place, but out comes the Ravage. The Clockwork's going to die. Pandas gets picked on the background. Blasphemy's dead as well. 3 heroes from Anime just deleted in a matter of seconds. And Roshan's about to respawn. Do they scout this out? Chupacabra. 3 seconds. Is he going to leave? He leaves. Oh, he's back in. He sees it. All right. Roshan is up. And with all of these guys dead, it's the perfect opportunity to try and go for this one. Although Grim, he's actually TP'd down to the bot. He's going to try and go for this solo kill here onto Mash. But I don't think he quite has the damage. Or does he? One more tree toss. And he gets him. All right. Okie dokie. So he gets a solo kill there onto the Razor. And the fact that Roshan's up, he's just going to make a beeline straight for that. And that'll be Aegis and Shard that's probably going to go into the hands of the Wash. I mean, everyone else has respawned, but it's still 45 seconds without the Razor. They should be able to go for it. The Rocket is going to scout this. And it's still very, very healthy. So there is time for Anime to react if needs be. But Gurgtard just chucking out a few Astrals onto the side there. Just making his presence known. Well, actually, it said, Grim, he's just found a free kill. Easy initiation there. There is going to be a nice Winter's Curse, at least, to claim the life of NFD, sorry. But regardless, still a preferable trade there for the Wash. Now they're carrying charged in yet again. The hammer gets dropped. He does a bit of damage spread around. But regardless, Gurgtard's going to end up dying for this. Blasphemy now. Those right clicks just annihilate him there for Grim. He dies as well. Another 3 kills there. They lose 1. But the net worth lead is starting to be built up into their favor yet again. And they're back in for the Roche. I mean, there's a possibility here that DmWp could maybe try and go for a Aegis snatch. He's got a rocket up. He sees it getting pretty low. It's just going to be down to Chupacabra. He wants to try and body block up this hook shot if possible. Both of them are doing it. But he doesn't even try it. Just lets him have it. So now Aegis into the hands of Grim. I think they gave the shards High Securus there. Fire Remnant still damage per second. It's quite nice.
An easy target.
Infinite charges. Possible. Undying doesn't know his ult, he works on Rishon. Who knows? I think it was literally just to block out the hook. Playing it safe. Meanwhile, Grim, he's getting run out here from Pandos. Managing to stand his ground, do a bit of damage, but he does still have the Aegis. Actually, just invises. There's going to be several sentries denying escape, stuck between both of them. There's going to be a Tombstone coming out. Another Ashram Prism's getting used, but still, even with the Witness Curse, now Chupacabra will get focused on. He's probably get deleted as soon as Mash gets involved. The first life of the Tiny is gone. 5 heroes around him. Is there anything that they could do to save him? I don't think so. Grim. It's a grim future for him. He still ends up dying. NFT just has to retreat. What? Limbo? He's re-engaging here with the use of this Ravage. High Securus is coming in with his BKB, but the double Ashland imprisonment, it saves Regu's life as well as Panda. They split up to the side. WP is still going to be the casualties here, but now Panda turns around from the trees. He annihilates NFD. Now High Securus got to be careful. He's got one more remnant to play with. But again, it's a good Astral. It's locking in the tie. Limbo is going to get caught from Panda. He died. Double for him. Sham getting very low, and the shackle damage is actually going to be enough to finish the kill. They pick him off. And Panda, he realized that High Securus is still here, but another remnant brings him to safety. Once again, a very chaotic fight. But I think that was in favor of Anime. Yeah, definitely like close to 3k gold swinging their advantage. Technically 5 kills as well, as it was the Aegis on the Tiny as well. So that big advantage from that Roche kill already removed just like that. Also, their team and inability to fight together. I mean, they like to split. They definitely do. Which, it's starting to be their undoing. Because once again, it's another sharp decline back down. It's still, you know, in their advantage. 3k gold lead. As well as 70% win rate, according to Mr. Gaben. They definitely got to play a little bit more cautiously, I think. Can't quite be too ballsy. But Axe can actually be afforded now for High Securus. I don't know if he's just saving for a buyback or not. Normally, it's quite nice to save for a buyback as an Ember, because generally, if you die in a team fight, you've got a remnant down that you can just buy back and fly straight in on. But I don't think that's the case. He's got the 2 other components coming in with the point booster. So, remnants for days. Imagine Grim isn't pleased. Well, unfortunately, sometimes you don't get what you want. Just hope he's not tilted by it. If he is displeased, you know, just stay chilled. Tilt is the worst enemy of every Dota player. If you start getting tilted, you're pretty much guaranteed to lose. Grim, he is actually stalking Mash here. Big jump forwards there. High Securus actually finds the grab onto Batsfimi. Aeon Disc Pop's going to keep him alive for now, but it's going to be over. Out comes the Avalanche toss combo. Focus onto Y, but he can't get his arm off. He dies 2 down quickly. High Securus is stuck in the front, but his BKB allows him to disengage. And now maybe they're going to try and chase for more. Actually, Panda, he's coming into the backlines there. He's stuck between 4 people. He has his own BKB. Ravage comes out. It only actually connects onto the clockwork. But regardless, 5 versus 1 from Panda. We're going to try to come in. He drops the hammer, does a bit of damage, but it's not enough to save the Ursa's life. And now maybe he's overstepped himself. He's going to get caught from this Yules. No arrow to follow up from the stun, but they don't even need it. 4 heroes wiped out there from the Washed. Not dropping anybody this time round. And that's a big, big gold swing. Close to 3.6k, 3.7k. 9k gold advantage in total now. Take it down to tier 2. And it looks like they're just going to carry on barreling down this top. There's no buyback on the Ursa or OD. There is at least a glyph available, which they're probably going to be forced to use here. But regardless, they've got another wave coming in pretty soon. So this backdoor protection is not going to get dropped. And yeah, Grim doesn't even care about getting hit by the tower. His right click's easily damaging the tower faster. Takes it out. This is going to be the whole set of barracks gone. Oh, Batsfimi. He jumps in there with a curse, so he gets the kill onto the enemy Marana at least. But High Securus, I think he's going to guarantee the kill for that in return. Hookshot in there for WMP. In comes the shackle, but he gets forced out back, breaks the link immediately. Limbo tossing his body in there to try and make space for his character to disengage. And it looks like everyone else, they bail. They're like, yeah, we're not even going to bother trying to save you. I think maybe they could have. But, no, they just play it safer. You know, they take down the melee barracks. They get on out there. They don't need to risk it for more. 21k net worth now for Grim. 6,000 over the top of the Ursa at this point, who is close to his own Ags, only after this creep, about 200-ish gold away. So that's the one where you can use Enrage whenever, right? Yeah, that's quite nice. Means like if you just get Ravaged at the start, you're not guaranteed to die. You can always have the opportunity to turn the fight around. Very key item. Chupacabra actually working on his own Heaven's Halberd. Very, very effective item against pretty much every single core on the side of anime. The Ursa, the Razor, and the OD relying quite a bit on their right click, so yeah, very, very powerful item to pick up, especially on your position 5. But everyone from the Wash starting to chill out for a little bit. They have all of their ultimates available, but it doesn't look like they want to. Oh, they are now going to go for a 4-man smoke, just leading Grim off to the side, but I mean, he's got the Silver Edge. Doesn't even matter. They even use the Moonlight Shadow. They see Sham. Can they get the initiation? There's the jump force on Limbo, but Mash, he's on it with the finger bite onto the BKB. He will survive. Panda's trying to focus onto Tombstone if he can, but he can't quite find it. They dropped the Winter's Curse just to hold back the Tiny. They were stealing a bit of his damage as well at the same time. Hysicurus, his BKB is over. Panda's trying to get on top of him, but he gets completely separated now. There is a Cold Embrace. It keeps him alive for now, but regardless, there's so much damage. It doesn't save his life. He still dies. He's gone for 80. He has no buyback as well. I think this is just another set of barracks. There's no Winter's Curse as well on the Wyvern to try and make any sort of counterplay. But at least on the flip side, there's no Ravage or Tombstone. Not for 15, actually. Tombstone will be back up soon. The Glyph forcing them away. They're actually going to be forced to run back towards the mid as Mash cutting the creep wave. Hysicurus, geez, just charging straight after him. Can't quite find it though, as Razor, one of the speedier heroes in the game. Casually moving around on pretty much haste speed. But they will at least recover this creep wave in the mid. So they're going to resume their push. See what they can do. Just keeping this one melee creep alive. As long as we get that backdoor protection down, that's all that matters. And he will manage to do it. Tombstone gets dropped. Creep's still going to end up dropping here. A Grim focusing onto the tier 3. Come on, right click's all they need. But actually, these constant usage of the Astral keeping them at bay. Tower is still up. And the Ursa's only up now in 12 seconds time. So they have managed to stall it relatively effectively. Tombstone's getting pretty low. So any other heals, one more rip. Soul Rip will actually keep it, but still gets taken out there from Mash. These non-stop Astrals, man. So goddamn frustrating to play against. Tier 3 is still going to drop, but everyone is available to play. Jump force there from Blasphemy. He gets the nice use of the Winter's Curse there onto NFD. It's just about enough damage to get the kill. The hammer also gets dropped to the back ones there from Gurktod. It does a lot of damage. Hysicurus is getting stunned as well from that point-blank use of the hook shot. Grim standing his ground. This right click's not going to be enough. He just gets evaporated. Dies 2 down quickly. Buybacks from both the two fallen there on Washed to see if they could do anything about it. But regardless, Hysicurus is way too low to carry on going forwards. He's forced to disengage. And now you've given Anime a huge win condition here. If they can kill this Tiny one more time, they might just be able to end this game. Fortunately enough, though, Brosham was a relatively quick respawn, so they're going to be able to get Aegis back over to him. Can they actually scout this out with hookshot? If they react fast enough, oh no, he sends the rocket down to the bot lane instead, just to help push that wave. So yeah, yes, they got the safety net now of the Aegis here for Grim, because that was a very risky play. They do now scout it out, but it's just too damn late. The objective's already been found. It's going to be a refresh shard as well for the Tiny, for the Tidehunter, sorry. So double Ravage yet to use. Panda, yeah, constantly poking and prodding onto him, but the use of the Ash is going to deny it. Limbo, he gets himself stuck on the high ground. He's going to have to use a refresher. He's just stuck. He actually forced off down to the low from his teammate. He's going to Witness Curse, hold the high screws in place, but not really much damage coming in. But regardless, DmWp's there with a nice hook shot. High screw still going to be able to survive against the BKB off of this right click, so Mash is going to be able to kill him. No, he's hit by the Heaven's Hell, but regardless, the magic damage is going to be enough. Just DmWp ends up dying so far. Grim's trying to focus up onto Panda, change his direction over towards Batsfiend if he can, but the cold embrace keeping him alive for now. Though Mash, he got ran down the back lines as well as the Ursa. He gets caught. No buyback on him. It's a 3 versus 5. There's a buyback available for the Wyvern, and I think he's probably going to be forced to use it. Otherwise, they're going to lose probably the whole set of barracks in the mid lane. Rogtard yet again just being a nuisance with these Astrals. Now Batsfiend dropping the buyback. No Winters though for 30 seconds. Toss of the Undying. Oh, that hook shot connects on the 3. The hammer gets dropped. They annihilate Limbo. Grim's trying to retreat off to the side. He does have the Aegis at least. Actually going to use the Satanic at least. He's just dodging out the hits. He's healing up a decent amount though, up to half HP. Regardless, it will now end. Gudrun nearly gets dropped, but the Astral keeps him alive. A buyback as well onto the Tiny, but the turnaround's best they can. Grim's still going to die. DmWp is a goner, and Mash is going to have to try and retreat, but High Sakura is going to get on top of him with the BKB as well as the Spider Legs. Going to allow him to retreat. Actually, Limbo, he gets tossed in. The use of the Winter's Curse to hold him back. But regardless, it's now a 5 versus 2. There's no Winter's Curse. There's no the Storm. There's no BKB. He does have a Refresher Orb, but this is still a huge order here for Anime to hold on. But I don't think they're going to be able to do it. These buildings just dropped so quickly to the right clicks of the Tiny. Arrow also landing onto Mash, but this is objective Dota. No one gives a crap about going for kills. They just want to clear up this game and guarantee themselves going on to third. Oh, Panda. Oh, the right click's the bash. Can he actually do it? The Silk Grim is trying to focus the buildings. Can he actually get it with a hit? Oh, he gets it just in time. That was so close. Literally one more hit. Grim would have died. And then it would have been pretty much all on the Ember to actually kill that building. Holy moly. That was extremely close. But CaringForTheWashed, they do manage to take out game number 2, pushing it onto a third match. And now we have it. It's the decider, the best of 1. So who can actually stay in the semi-finals for the RD2L EU Season 24? And who will end up dropping? Who's going to know? Who will find out? We will. We will find out once game number 3 is underway, which will be coming up relatively soon. But if you guys have enjoyed, please be a follow on my Twitch or YouTube, or even subscribing, because, you know, that is also pretty legit. But yeah, game number 3 coming up very, very soon.